Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're looking at Anne Marie Ellinwood. She was only 12 years old when she went missing in 1978. She had red hair and freckles. She was 5'2" and 95 pounds. Brown eyes. It said she was participating in a March of Dimes walk-a-thon, her third that day. The route was on a bike path along Mary's River at 1 p.m. Anne told her friends her feet hurt and they should go on without her. This was April 15th, 1978. She said she would go to a checkpoint at Gill Coliseum. She was last seen near the Pioneer Park ball field across Highway 34 from the Coliseum. She's never been seen or heard from again. She had an afternoon paper route delivery, the Gazette-Times, but never showed up for it, which is uncharacteristic of her. Her parents reported her missing at 5:15 p.m. They did an extensive search of the area, but they found no sign of her. They had said that there was a red pickup truck with a teardrop-shaped trailer was seen in the area around the time she disappeared. 11-year-old Stephanie Ann Newsom disappeared from West Salem, Oregon on April 19th, 4 days later. The girls were similar in age and appearance and were last seen walking alone during the daylight hours. Due to the similarities, police immediately suspected the disappearances were linked. They were looking for a possible suspect in Anne's case, described as a Caucasian male with a stocky build, reddish-brown or sandy hair, a gruff voice, and possibly a mustache. The suspect in Stephanie's case had a similar appearance, stocky in his late 20s, with shaggy light brown hair. Stephanie's partially clothed body was found April 25th in a field next to the Ankeny Wildlife Refuge. She had been dead for several days. Investigators determined she had been raped and strangled. So you would think that the other girl would have been found too. By May, police had identified the suspect in Anne's disappearance and Stephanie's murder. Earl F. Wood Chambers, a photo of him is posted with his case summary. He had a prior record for rape and assault of young women. And he owned a red pickup truck and a teardrop-shaped trailer like the one seen in the area where Anne disappeared. Police brought him in for question, and he had denied any involvement. He was ordered to appear before the grand jury. That afternoon, June 6, however, they found his body in a rural area in Linn County, Oregon. He had died by suicide without leaving a note. And that made me wonder, because there's so many Jane Does in Linn County. Well, there's two or three, I think, Jane Does in Linn County, Oregon. I think around three. So I wondered maybe if she was one of the Jane Does in Linn County, Oregon as well. The investigation went cold after his death, but since 1978, they've made periodic efforts to resolve her disappearance and Stephanie's murder. Hair found in his trailer and vehicle, believed to be Anne's, was tested for the DNA in 2005, but the results were inconclusive. He's still the main suspect. She was a seventh grader at Highland View Junior High School at the time of her disappearance. And to me, that's just sad. And then I did a name search for her, and what's the next one? And the only one I found with around her age and stuff was the one in Iola, Texas, that I thought looked similar to the other girl. They found her in 1981. She died in 76 to 81. She was 13 to 19 years old, which is close in age. 5'3", estimated 110 pounds. That is close to her height and weight. You can pause this and read it. Right-handed, it says, found near FM 244, but Texas is a long ways away. She did have red auburn hair. So, but I don't know if that would be her or not. And there's the description. Like I said, you can pause it and read it. Because the other girl was kidnapped just, what, days later? So I don't think he would have traveled that far. Right? I think that said that he kidnapped the other girl days later. 4 days later. So I don't think that could be her, really. And then there's some comments on Reddit that you can read about it as well. And it talks about her having her mother's eyes, her chin-length hair looks brown in the black and white image, but it's auburn. She was a popular student, a beloved daughter. She joined some friends for the March of Dimes Walk-A-Thon, and they haven't found her remains, or they might have found her remains and they haven't identified them as being her. So anyway, you can pause that and read that as well. It's very sad. And then there's a thing about a retired cop in 2014 solves a case. J.R. Miller met with the parents. He knew who was responsible. And you can pause this and read it. I'm just skimming through. 11-year-old walking. Witnesses saw her walking home empty-handed by the way of the trail. Another witness looked over a off-white sedan with loud exhaust passed by. He recognized the girl in the passenger seat as Stephanie Ann Newsome's. Then her body was found later. Meanwhile, they said a description of the pickup truck, camper trailer, and driver seen the day Anne-Marie disappeared. The man with the dog had earlier approached another girl and asked her to help put his dog in the camper trailer. She had tossed the dog in and got away. Almost immediately, people began calling and reporting that description. So it talks about Earl Freddie Woody Chambers, a convicted sex offender, had long strawberry blonde hair and a thick mustache. He worked in the Willamette Valley as a roofer. Two friends even reported he had told them he had been in the Pioneer Park with his pickup trailer and small dog at the time that she disappeared. Less than 2 weeks later, people who knew Chambers said they barely recognized him because he was suddenly clean shaven and his hair was short and dark. And he stopped driving that pickup truck and started driving his off-white 1974 Torino with a body style very similar to the car Newsome was last seen in. So you can pause this and read it if you want to. And there's the information. I'm going to scroll down. So I just think that's horrific that that happened. And if you have any information, please contact authorities about that. And there's Lynn County compared to Corvallis. That's where he committed suicide. And here's some Jane Does around the time of 1978 in Oregon, but I believe they died years before. But you can look them up on the Doe Network under Oregon if you like to. And then there was an unidentified female found in Lane County, but it's an adult female, and you can pause that and read it. I don't think that's her. And there was also a girl in Canada, British Columbia, that I don't think that was that far. And I wonder if he killed her too because she was young, only 13 to 16 years old. And so you can pause that and read that. Anyway, don't forget to pray for our loved ones and family. And please feel free to leave comments. I just think that's so sad and so horrific that those things had to happen. Anyway, have a great day. Bye-bye.